you came for Tony, but you also come, for the advice that we can probably give you. And I think what Tony is doing here with his marketing message, I mean, the thing that he's selling, I believe is one of the hardest things that you could sell. Like I had once when we were preparing for this interview, I'm like, how is he doing this? How is he getting the message across? And I found very interesting that you transition your message from that fear to these stories and make it relatable, because everybody knows somebody that has that, that block to be able to access something. So I relate big time. For us, for the longest time, was the language barrier, right? It's like, how do we do that? And as you were explaining that, I'm like, wow, this is incredible. And one example is Gary Vee. He just started to translate all his content, and now he's tapping into that market, right? And again, we're talking markets and stuff like that, but at the same time, we could look at all these people with disabilities as a market, because you're helping them with the value that you're providing, right?
I mean, you said 1 of 4 or 5 people has a disability that pretty much don't allow them to function, to their full potential. And if we think about it, that is, 20% of everybody, which is a lot, which means probably everybody knows someone that has certain disabilities.
Yeah.
So I think it's super powerful bringing this up, because it puts in perspective kind of like how big that market is that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, just think of the aging population. People in their 60s and 70s were around. They were younger, obviously when the internet started, and they're familiar with the internet and they use the internet a lot. It wasn't like when I was younger and my parents were like, "What's a computer? What's the internet?" I spent years of my spare time teaching my mom how to use a computer, and
we still do.
Super savvy right now, but there are people that aren't too much older than me, considered seniors, are using the internet more. And as you age, certain things happen, we all know, and you need more tools and accessibility. I remember, it's a funny little side story, not really funny, but when I was younger and I was helping my mom, the computer screens weren't as nice as they are now. They were small little 19-inch CRT, big huge mamma jammas, and glass fronts. And my mom, in order to be able to see the screen sometimes when the thing was really small, she bought this magnifying glass that was like,
oh my goodness,
big, and it was probably the size of a small book.
Yes.
And she used to hold it up to the screen and go back and forth and back and forth in order to see the screen. And so, I'm remembering that, I'm like, holy cow, it really has changed with the times, and now we have the tools in order to embed in the websites in order to help people with that.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I actually visited your website before hopping in this conversation, and that was the first thing that I noticed. Like, it popped up the panel on the side, and I was like, oh, what is so super random topic. Like, the other day I was actually on this other website called Marketing Examples, which is an awesome website, guys. Go visit it. But the menu is on the left side, right? So when I saw the panel on your website, I'm like, wow, like he has a website the same type as this other guy. That's pretty cool. And then I started looking at the buttons, and I was like, oh no, whoa, this is the actual software, the tool. How cool it is. So I started like pressing buttons and see how it reacted. Yeah, it like changes the website immediately. And I was like, this is super cool. This is amazing.
So for those listening, guys, we'll definitely leave all those links right in the description. We're gonna put it right here. If you guys can't find it, you can always send us a DM to go find them and experiment with that, because once you play with it a little bit on Tony's website, you're gonna understand what this is. It's gonna put that picture in there.